Hello, I'm Christina.
And I'm Carly. And we're those two Mormon girls.
Wow, this is weird.
Well, I'd like to point out that it is the 1-year anniversary of those two Mormon girls.
Yep.
Even though we haven't been doing a lot lately.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Anyway, so we decided to talk about goals since it's, a new year and whatnot. Christina, take us away.
So, it is 2016, woohoo, and last night, Carly and I was telling Carly about how my family and I kind of, wrote down New Year's resolutions and, did the typical, thing for the new year, but, this year it's kind of, different. We've really wanted to take it seriously and really, achieve what we wanted to do, and so Carly and I thought it would be good to talk about how, goals are really important and that we need to really try hard to, achieve them and make sure that there's something we can achieve. That way we don't feel like failure after not achieving something that is way out of our reach type of thing.
Yeah. See, I never usually set goals for myself because I know I won't achieve them. So, after studying the topic though, I know what is needed to really achieve those. Okay, so first we're going to point out that setting goals should be positive and they should put us in the right path. So, example.
So one goal I made was just in general to be, to be a better disciple of Christ. I wrote that down on my list just to, be a good example to everybody around me. And I know that that's something that I need to do and something that I can achieve, and so I feel like that's pretty practical for me to accomplish. But yeah, I mean, it can be other stuff too, obviously one of the most typical one, I think that's the word, yeah, is to lose weight or something like that.
Guilty.
But you can do that. I mean, you can achieve that, so if you really put your heart to it.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good example of a positive goal. And not only is it, just something that you want to do, but it's also discussed in the
word of wisdom.
The word of wisdom that you should take care of your body and make it healthy. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
I think also just having God in general in mind when you're thinking about these things is really important so that you make him proud of the way you're living your life.
Yeah, and I think small goals are even, they don't have to, like Christina said, don't make them huge goals. I mean, you can if you're gonna reach them, but even just small things like making prayer a daily habit if you haven't been doing that, or waking up and going to church every Sunday if you haven't been doing that. I know those are things that I need to work on and that I'm gonna do better this year, and I think just the small things will ultimately bless you in the end. So I have a quote here by M. Russell Ballard, and it says, "We can become the masters of our own destinies by practicing self-discipline and by setting worthy goals that will lead to higher ground so that we can become what our Heavenly Father wants us to become."
I love that quote because, self-discipline is really hard. Carly and I have tried multiple times to be healthy and to, not eat candy and all that kind of stuff, but it is really hard, and that's, self-discipline is one of the most, amazing things that you can develop, and it's really important. I know, one thing I started to do this past semester was really be diligent in reading my scriptures every day, and, after you do it for, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you just, develop that habit, and when you don't do it one day, you feel like, you're missing something. And it's really hard at first, but I know that, if you pray for the help to, really remember to do something like that and develop that habit, that God will, help you do it. He's not gonna let you down. He's gonna... And you have to, be the person to do it, too. God's not just gonna, force you to do it. You have to do it.
Yeah, and self-discipline, it's not something, just for goals. It's something that's gonna help you throughout your life with jobs, with families. I mean, it's a really, like Christina said, it's a really important thing to be able to develop. So I guess that's something that can be my goal. So yeah, going along with what Christina said, Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ should definitely be a part of your goals. They'll help strengthen you, and they'll provide you with the motivation to achieve the goals. And then a closing quote we have by Gordon B. Hinckley. You can do it.
Hello. It says, "Please don't nag yourselves with thoughts of failure. Do not set goals far beyond your capacity to achieve. Simply do what you can do in the best way you know how, and the Lord will accept your effort." This quote is really good, and we chose to share it with you guys just because you're never a failure, and God never sees you, in like a negative way. He wants us to succeed in this life, and when you truly do what you're supposed to and live the way you're supposed to, everything will work out. And when you set goals in mind with God, then He really will help you achieve them. And it's a lot on your part, but God is there, and you're never going to be a failure. Just do what you can do, and that's all He can ask for. Because if you try and do something that's above your abilities, like, just don't do it, because you don't want to become a failure. In your eyes, you don't want to see yourself in a negative way, and God will help you get through it. But just always be positive and do what you can do.
Yeah. For me, at least, it's really easy to think of like the negative side, like, oh, like this is never gonna happen, so I'm just gonna stop. It's really easy to think negatively about things like that. And I think just like choosing or like making the decision to like at least try. You never know if you're gonna do it if you don't try. God he'll bless you for trying, even if you don't reach the goal. Yeah, he'll see that you're trying, and He'll accept that. So
exactly. Yeah, so actually this is our last video for a while, because tomorrow I'm leaving back to college. Woohoo. But one of those two Mormon girls is serving her mission, you guys.
no, I'm just kidding. It's Christine.
It's me. Okay. I got my mission call, everybody, in November, and I'm going to the England Manchester mission.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
So
Coolest
I'm
mission
super
ever.
excited. I leave March 31st to the Preston, England MTC. So I'm so excited, and yeah, so we won't see you for a while. I'll be gone for 18 months.
Self-discipline will be a huge thing
Oh,
that
yeah.
you need to
On my mission.
huge thing that you need to learn when you go on your
Yeah.
mission.
But I'll be back in like 2 months, so Carly and I will make another video.
We can make one before you leave.
Yeah.
When you get back
Before
from
I
college.
go on my mission, we'll make one and post it for you guys. So yeah.
So wish her good luck. She's gonna do great. But thank you for watching.
Peace out. What do we usually say? I forget.
Oh.
What do we say?
Oh,
we
no.
usually say something, right? See you next time.
We fall off our chairs
Yeah.
usually.
Goodbye. Let's bust that